We all know building muscle and strength requires a lot of time, sets and reps. Or does it? Perhaps you find working out after a long day of studying or work helps you de-stress. Or maybe you're like me and you're tired of being in the gym for far too long. So you've clicked on this video hoping for a way to make gains without having to work out for what seems like forever. But is this possible? Or are you just looking for an easy way out? You see, the first 5 years into my fitness journey, I was working out 1 to 2 hours a day, 6 times a week, and that was until I met my girlfriend. But we all know what happens from here. I stopped working out, started eating uncontrollably, and my health went out the door. Except that wasn't the case. I continued to work out consistently, but over the years, the time I wanted to spend inside the gym started to decrease. And eventually, I quit. I stopped wanting to work out for 1 to 2 hours a day, and instead, I wanted a more balanced lifestyle where I could still live my life while making gains. So over the past 6 months, I did just that. I was able to go from this to now this. Working out under 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week, while still eating out, working full time, learning to dance, travel, create videos like this, and most importantly, continue to make gains. So in this video, I want to show you the exact training protocol that made this possible, as well as how to guarantee gains and more. So without further ado, this is the best minimalist workout for beginners in 2022. 2023, you my bad. Before we jump into the program, let's first understand what minimalist training really is. And one might say, you just train less. Close, but not quite, Einstein. But take Chris Bumstead, for example, aka C-Bump. This is his back routine, 7 exercises, 25 sets. About 1 to 2 hours in the gym, and that's just working out his back. And on the other hand, Jeff Alberts, a natural bodybuilder, and also Dorian Yates, a not so natural bodybuilder. And they both do 4 to 8 sets per muscle per week. And still make gains. Okay. But of course, they're all very high exertion and executed to a T. So you've got an extreme maximalist on one end and 2 extreme minimalists on the other. My workout sits somewhere here, and we can all agree that most guys tend to lean towards a maximalist style of training. But why is this so? What if you had 1 extra hour per day, per year? You could know your partner inside and out, gain a new qualification, read 20 books, learn to flip houses, get on top of your finances, or become a meal prep pro while getting absolutely shredded. Because there's far more to life than just how much you can truck. Was it me? What you mean? So on the topic of time, what is the minimum amount of time you need to work out in order to make gains? 20 to 30 minutes a day. But don't take my word for it, because others seem to say the same. With just a barbell with 2 mats, about 200 pounds of weights, and 2 step-ups, believe it or not, you have everything you need to build muscle at home, at least for your upper body. But if you have the space, then you'd want to consider a power rack and a bench, plus a pair of adjustable dumbbells. Crikey, mate. Here's how the program works. You train 4 days a week, work out 20 to 30 minutes a day, and you'll hit each muscle group twice a week, with each day having its own unique focus. I'll explain. So for week 1, workout 1, you'll focus on chest. Workout 2, you'll focus on biceps and triceps, and so forth. And because the best way to look sexy as is to make sure you build a well-rounded physique, avoiding any potential imbalances and long-term injuries. So for week 2, the muscles at focus will change to reflect that, as highlighted on screen. And of course, you'd want to schedule in rest days, which might look like this. Workout Monday to Friday, rest on Wednesday and on the weekend. Or perhaps like this, workout Monday to Saturday, rest Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. Or of course, whatever suits your lifestyle. So for week 1, workout 1, we start off by supersetting floor press, followed by bent over row. 4 to 6 reps for the first superset, and 10 to 12 for the second. And this is also known as an antagonistic superset. And this is great because when you're pressing, you allow your back to rest. And when you row, you get the point. That way you maximize results while saving on time. And after that, usually I'll do 2 sets of overhead press, working the shoulders. But because we're focusing on the chest, we're doing an extra set of floor press in between, going for 5 to 10 reps. So in order to get the most bang for your buck, you'll need to make sure you're resting 30 to 60 seconds between exercises and 1 to 3 minutes between sets. For example, after the floor press, rest for 30 to 60, and after bent over rows, rest for 1 to 3 minutes. And in terms of sets, you see that we're doing 2 sets per muscle group per workout, plus an extra set for the muscle at focus. Like on week 2, workout 3, the focus is on shoulders, and therefore I've assigned an extra set of shoulders, like I did for the previous example, where the focus was on our chest. And because setting a focus tells me, hey, you can push me a little harder today. The goal is to be able to continue making gains while trying to avoid burning out. As for the rest of the muscle groups, chill, alright? But haters would say, no wonder you're skinny. How can you make gains doing less than 10 sets per muscle per week? And instead of telling them to get If we're gonna make this work and make measurable gains, there's two things we need to have in place. First, despite what they say about how much protein you need, make sure you're eating at least 0.8 grams per kilo of body weight required for a healthy body, or 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for example, if you're 60 kilos or 132 pounds, you'll need 48 grams of protein per day, and any more is a bonus. And because I'm not looking to compete or get jacked in 3 months, I found this works just fine for me. Plus, if you're like me and you hate the idea of counting macros, then simply find out how much protein is in your standard portion of protein, and then simply eat that same amount for each meal, or adjust accordingly. And once you have that down packed, you then want to focus on improving your numbers over time. Like if you bench 100 pounds today and you bench 120 pounds 8 weeks later, you've gained strength, and you can also expect to have gained muscle. Plus, if you find your results are too slow doing 4 to 5 sets per muscle per week, then simply add extra sets and/or exercises. And if you're not a morning person, perhaps that's about to change. Like usually I'll feel low in energy in the morning. So on rest days, I'll do some light weights, about 10 reps per muscle group. And I find it's a great way to get the blood flowing, which then boosts my energy levels, setting me up for the day. And I notice a difference in my overall mood when I don't move versus when I do. And I know it can be a little confusing with so much information out there, so I'll leave you with a few key things to keep in mind when it comes to the correct lifting technique. With any pushing motion, aim to keep your elbows and wrists vertically in line at all times. For example, during the shoulder press and bench press, with the exception of standing or lying skull crusher, where you want to keep your elbows pointing forward and in towards the midline as much as possible. When squatting, you want to make sure to keep your knees in line with your toes, and make sure to not round your back, always keeping a flat or slightly arched back by pushing your chest forward and shoulders back. For deadlifts, including the Romanian deadlift, make sure to keep a flat back by pulling your shoulders back and your chest forward. And when coming up, make sure to push your heels into the ground and allow that to drive your hips forward until you reach a vertical position. But one thing to keep in mind, using brute force with bad technique can result in serious injury. And never, ever round your back during a deadlift, because that can lead to some serious shit. And remember, practice makes perfect. So chances are you already have what it takes to build a lean aesthetic body. And if you find yourself stuck inside that head of yours, or you have a habit of waiting until you have all the right information and it's stopping you from consistently getting to the gym, check out my last video where I talk about how you can stop overthinking and actually take action towards achieving a killer transformation. And if you want to download the exact workout program we just covered, as well as discover 11 minimalistic ways to maximize your gains in under 30 minutes a day, I'll leave a link below. If you think others can benefit from seeing this, make sure to like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Have an amazing day. Ciao. So a lot of guys think more is better, and that a bigger gym with more equipment equals greater results, right? No.
What? Okay!